What's up, fam? Welcome back again, of course. We've got an awesome episode for you today. But first, I've got some awesome things to tell you about before we get into it. Something new this year is that we've made some new friends. That's right. And these new friends love stories just like we do. So I want to tell you all about Audible. Audible is a place where you can easily go to find more stories to listen to, as they have an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy, and more, you name it. All coming from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, and entertainers. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I love to sit down and read a good book just as much as the next person does, but I find myself in too many situations where I can't read at the moment, and audio is just a bit more suitable. So here's what I'm talking about. I drive back and forth between Fargo and St. Cloud quite a bit, and that's a 3-hour drive one way, which makes for a perfect opportunity to start up a good story and listen to it to occupy my time and make it more enjoyable. So right now, our new friends are offering you a free audiobook of your choice. And this isn't one of those, oh, you only get to choose from these selections kind of thing. You can literally check out their entire selection of audio programs, download a free title, and start listening right away with a 30-day trial membership. So, of course, I know you want to take advantage of that. So head on over to audibletrial.com/rumorcast to go download your free audiobook and fire up that free 30-day trial. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/rumorcast, and go get yourself a good story. Also, we've got merch. That's right. Our merch just launched. So be sure to head over to rumorcast.com and go check out the sweet new swag we got. And while you're there, don't forget that I want to hear your story too. So head over to the speak page and let me know about something that's on your mind, or a story of something that you've been through. And who knows, maybe you'll get to tell it on the podcast as well. So be sure to head over there. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know what you're thinking. But if you want to know what we're thinking and you want to keep up to date with us, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at RumorCast. And we can be found on all of your favorite platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, and Stitcher. Just be sure to search RumorCast and it'll pop right up. But with that being said, y'all, we've got Jessica Vines in the studio today, and she's got some awesome stuff to talk about. She ain't stopping anytime soon, and neither are we, so let's dip in and do this.
You know what I heard?
Spill it. I gotta know.
I think it could be true.
Can you believe what they just said?
That can't be true.
Tell me more.
Have you heard?
They said what? Do you believe everything you hear? This is RumorCast.
Jessica Vines.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How's your weekend been?
It's been good. It's been really chill. We haven't had any gigs, so that's been nice.
Nice break.
Yeah, just to hang out and do whatever, whenever.
How busy have you been over the last month or two? I figured that things would slow down in the holidays.
You know, it's funny you say that. I thought so too, but December got pretty busy with a bunch of like corporate Christmas gigs.
Oh.
So, which was really fun. It was super cool, but a lot of like random Wednesday night gigs.
Okay.
At the Avalon, or, you know, like.
Sure.
Random things like that, so.
So speaking of stuff like that, what's your favorite venue type?
My favorite venue type? That's a great question. I think my favorite venue type is any venue that people go to listen.
Of course.
That sounds like a really silly answer, but I mean, like, any place where people specifically go for the music. So, you know, places where we're, like, playing just at a regular bar that people would be at regardless. Like, those are still super fun, but there's just something special if, like, people are strictly going for the music, not because they have 350 Miller Lights on tap on Saturday nights. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So
yeah, they want to go to a live music event
to see us. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's step away from music for a bit.
Okay.
I want to know, because obviously you're pretty prominent with your music and pretty well known around town. I want to rewind all the way back.
Okay.
To when you were an early teenager.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah.
What were you like? Tell me what you were listening to. What was like who was the poster on your wall? Who was the heartthrob?
Golly, what a great question. Wow. All right. I didn't actually have posters on my wall, unfortunately. I never was able to get into the cool thing where you got magazines with all of the posters in the back.
Sure.
So it was just whichever posters that my friends had that they no longer wanted on their wall and they needed wall space for the new one, they'd give me their old one type thing. So I don't even remember who was on my wall. But I was really into the Killers when I was young, beginning of high school, super into them. I was really, really into the Beatles and a lot of older
the Beatles,
classic rock.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
super into the Beatles.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think, who else was I into? Just anything that was indie and quirky and cool, because that's what I was trying to be.
Sure, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So when did you find out about your voice? What was the marker when you were like, you know what, I really, really want to sing?
I gotta do this. I always was singing as a kid. My mom will be the first to tell you it was very annoying to her.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Hold on, why? Why was your mom annoyed all the time?
It's probably because it was singing inappropriate things. I'd be not inappropriate, but I'd be like, I'm gonna go make a sandwich, and my mom's like, you don't need to sing that. That's just annoying.
Oh,
and I still do that to this day. We'll be in the car for a 7-hour drive to some gig, and I'll be like, I'm gonna work on my chart, and I'm like, oh, Jess, everyone in the van probably doesn't want to hear that, so I'm trying to work on that. But so I've always kind of just had an itch to sing.
Okay.
And then I started singing in church when I was younger, and a lot of people said nice things, and I think just as any human does, it feels good to be told that they're good at something.
Absolutely.
And so it kind of sparked oh, I really enjoy this and people are saying good things, so yeah. And then I started taking voice lessons and exploring more music, and I wasn't able to
What about
not do
instruments?
it. I didn't play anything as a kid. And it wasn't until after college. I took some piano classes in college because you have to. So I still play a tiny bit of piano, and that's how I write my chord progressions and chart out everything. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until after college I joined a band in town called Downtown Sound, and I played bass with them for a year. Okay. So I learned bass to play with them. So that was
totally makes sense with your torn up jeans.
With torn up jeans.
I noticed that. Man, she wears torn up jeans all the time.
I do. Yeah, they're comfy.
Yeah,
Room for my knees.
Right. Yeah. So now that you've got time off, what do you do? What do you do when it's not music?
What do I do for fun?
Or for anything?
Okay. What?
Sorry.
No.
All right. So you have a whole month aside from music.
Yeah.
Plenty of money to do whatever you want to do. What are you going to do?
Gosh. I would probably go somewhere warm right now, obviously because it's cold out.
Where?
That's a great question. I like exploring new cities. So I would maybe... There's nowhere that I'm itching to go right now that I can think of. Maybe I'd go to Portland or something.
Portland?
Yeah, and just spend a week there.
Warm.
I mean, it's not very warm, but it's a city I've been wanting to check out. Maybe I'd go somewhere in Florida. I don't know. I hear that there's crazy things happen there.
Florida? Oh, yeah, Florida, man. And, Florida's kind of a... Channing's from Florida.
Oh, okay.
If that tells you anything. No, I'm just kidding, Channing. I'm just kidding. No, he had some crazy stories on the last episode when, because... Oh, did I tell you he was here last week?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, so you remember I came to see you at the aquarium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I bumped into Channing at the bar, and he was like, oh, yeah, Chris told me about you. I totally want to do the podcast. When are we going to do it? And I was like, whenever you want, man. He's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And I'm like,
That's so Channing.
record it. Yeah, I know, right?
That's so cool.
And I didn't want to tell him no, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I was caught off guard by it, but I'm like, screw it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah. And so then, we recorded on the next day.
Oh, cool.
And so he told me about coming from Florida and his mom and his dad and stuff. It was a cool episode. But,
Very cool. He's
man,
such a
that
cool guy.
He is so cool, but he taught me how old I was now.
Oh, no.
Oh man, Channing can party.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
Well, he's got that whole rock star vibe about him.
He really lives up to it, I think, too.
Oh yeah.
Which makes him so, like, in a way irresistible, because it's like you see him on stage and you're just like, oh, you seem like this crazy, cool, insane dude, and then you realize he really is, and you're like, damn, I can't even.
So funny story. While I was there at the aquarium,
Yeah.
I was totally embarrassed.
Why?
So,
Oh no.
oh yeah, it was bad. I was so embarrassed by this. So, I'm at the bar and I'm watching you guys play, and such a good show that night. That was an awesome show. Stovepipes goes up,
Yeah.
and I'm snapping the drummer of the Stovepipes. I'm like, yeah, sitting down with this guy tomorrow. So excited. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, he looks real different in the light.
So
like-
weird. Yeah. That's so funny.
And then he comes from the back, and I'm like, shh. I can't believe I did that. Like, yeah. So he was dying when I was telling him that.
That's so funny.
Who was the girl you were singing with when you went up?
Andy. I think Andy Thorson.
Yeah, with Heavy as the Head?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. She's great. She's so lovely.
Is she?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Such a lovely human. I don't know her super well. I've just started playing with this band this last year, and they don't gig super regularly.
That's Heavy as the Head?
Yep. Yes. Okay. But she sings with Diane Miller. She's part of D Mills and the Thrills, and just has such a lovely voice. She also sings in a group called 6th Street Review.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's just a lovely human. She's just very kind.
Yeah, you know what? You guys have like a really cool quote-unquote clique that's going on.
Okay.
There. But you guys taught me something about music I'd never even like thought of before, and I was telling this to Channing too, is I was surprised to see you in Heavy as the Head, and just like when Channing was with
Cold Sweat.
Cold Sweat, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, Ryan. So how you guys will mingle amongst each other and, do different things instead of like just your group. You guys will mingle amongst each other and help each other out and whatnot.
Totally. I think it's super fun. That's one of the really cool things about the music industry in Fargo, is that like everybody respects each other and just is really excited to play with each other. And it's not like, I mean, oftentimes you do find like the same people play with the same people just because like it works out and you find your rhythm, but it's never a thing of like, oh, I don't play with them. It's just like, oh, well, these people are available this weekend. Like it's
Sure,
just,
sure.
or whatever. So it's just like
ain't
everybody
got nothing
likes
going on. Let's do it.
Yeah, everybody likes hanging out and playing, and so.
Yeah, you guys are a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
that is one thing about Fargo that I love when people ask me, like, it's always the top two things that I tell them when they're like, hey, what's so great about Fargo? Number one is the food. Like,
Oh, okay.
we have a lot of
yeah.
good food here.
I don't disagree with you.
Right. And the second thing is the music. I mean, we've got a lot of local, really good live music and venues
Yeah,
to offer people, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love this city. The city is great.
it is cool.
It's got you in it.
It's a good time. Yeah, we have fun.
So, what is the big plan coming up next?
For this year. Great question.
I'm trying to segue into what you told me before.
So this year we are releasing an album, so that's the big plan.
How many tracks on the album?
We're still debating on ones, but there will probably be 11.
11.
11, yeah.
Oh,
So it'll be
wow.
our
was
first
it only
full-length
5 on
album.
the last one?
Yep, 6. There were 6 on the last one.
6, I'm
So
sorry.
that was technically an EP, and then this one's going to be a full album. So
Okay.
super excited about it, and it's been really fun to take. I mean, a lot of these songs that are on this album, we played for the EP release last year.
Oh, okay.
So this album kind of feels like, in a way, it's like playing catch up. in that we've been playing these songs for so long.
Okay.
That we're just excited to have them out and to be able to start working on the next album.
So you've already got another one planned?
Well, not like hardcore, we're writing.
Oh, you're ready for the next steps.
Yes,
so
yeah.
You've got this plan that you made, and now it's coming to fruition, and
now
you're ready
we're
to continue.
Always looking ahead, yeah.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you've already released one of the tracks,
We did.
and I love it.
Thank you.
I relate to it so well. You make such good music. So
Thank you.
this is Jessica Vine's I Don't Want to Stop.
The same destination, hoping to find what I'm looking for without any hesitation. I don't know that I'll make it, but damn, I'm willing to try. I don't wanna stop, but if I can't keep going, I don't wanna fall down, but if I start to believe, without ever knowing. I don't wanna fall down, for I'm who I'm supposed to be. They say it's hard to get to the top, even harder to stay. I promise not to linger too long, if you just let me play. I don't know that I'll make it, but damn, I'm gonna try. I don't wanna stop, what if I can't keep going? I don't wanna fall down, what if I start to believe? I don't wanna stop without ever knowing. I don't wanna fall down, for I'm who I'm supposed to be. If I'm a lost cause, please tell me. If it's a waste of time, let me know. If I got no chance, I'll accept it. But until then, I gotta do what I can to go. Oh, 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 I gotta do what I can. I don't wanna stop, but if I can't keep going, I don't wanna fall down. What if I start to believe? I don't wanna stop without ever knowing. I don't wanna fall down, but I'm who I'm supposed to be. I don't wanna stop.
You make such good music. Now, when I first heard that, and I first heard your music, I had this image, like, it sounds like it's got like a 70s or 80s type influence to it.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Very retro.
And I had this image in my head with you wearing these huge bell-bottom jeans with torn knees in the front. Yes, 100%.
Oh my gosh. Have I only worn torn jeans in front of you?
The majority, there's like been like one, maybe two times you haven't.
Oh, golly.
But it's like that was one of the first impressions I got off you. I was like, oh, she's so punk.
You're like, oh, I thought you were, she really doesn't care what she looks like.
Oh, no. You're gorgeous. But
thanks.
no, it was just like, because I was on your Instagram and you have that Halloween picture of you all punked out.
Oh, yeah. From a few years ago.
Yeah. I don't mean to sound like a total
No,
stalker
no, no,
right
no.
now.
That's the thing. See, I feel like people get really weirded out about social media and like people looking back. Like I've heard people be like, "Oh, this person liked my photo from like years ago," and I'm like, "Well, why do you still have it online if you don't want people to see it? Like, isn't that the whole
Right.
point, right?
Right.
Like, how exciting that your content is still lasting. I think.
Well, of course, absolutely. But
So.
at the same time, it's like it's a tough interest for me, social media.
Sure.
Like, I understand it's a very good tool. Like, I get that.
A necessary evil.
Right. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say evil. I mean, it's obviously connecting people is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
I just struggle in the aspect. I just don't have that mindset where it's like, ooh, I should tweet about this, or
Yeah.
ooh, I need to take a picture of this and put it on my Instagram. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
try. I try to make a valiant effort, but it's not my top priority. I just like to be in the moment, you know?
Totally. It's tough. Like, that's something that I'm struggling with too. To now, every day I have a to-do list. And so, more days than not, probably 5 days out of the week, I have post on Facebook, post on Instagram, post on your Instagram story. Just to, like, kind of constantly have it in my head of, like, let people know what you're doing. And I look to the people that I really like and the content that they post that I'm continually interested in and try to emulate that in my own stuff. But it's tough. Like, I don't want to be that annoying person that's like, hey, can you take a photo of me, like, drinking this? Or, like, you know, like, that's so annoying.
Right.
But it's important.
So you're saying we're not going to go to dinner tonight and totally order these fancy meals and take pictures and put it on our Instagrams?
Well, I mean, never say never.
I
but
never understood that. Like,
Yeah.
the food thing. Like, I get the trend. I understand it's trendy, and I understand that there are chefs that do an amazing job. But
Yes.
it's, for me, that falls along the same line as people that go to these concerts and then they spend the whole concert through their
On
phone.
their phone, I
Yeah.
know.
It's so disappointing.
I know. And it's tough because it's like, at the same time, I'm just like, if you thoroughly enjoy your music experience through your screen and you genuinely are like, you enjoy that, great for you. Like, that's how you should enjoy it then. And anybody that doesn't want to watch it, don't watch their stories, whatever. But at the same time, it is so, like, but just be in the moment too. Like, this is also really wonderful if you would just try to, like, put it down. But
Right.
I don't know. I'm sure they've tried it. I mean, we all lived without phones at one point, so
True.
yeah.
Phones are good, though.
I think they're very important. Just the other day, my phone was dead, and I was driving home at night, and I was like, what if I get into, like, a car accident? Or, like, what if my
yeah.
car slides off the road?
Or flat tire.
Or a flat tire? Suddenly, all these things that, like, humans have been doing for years without having a phone on them all the
It's a
time.
scary thought,
seems
isn't
so
it?
Scary.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Absolutely scary.
Yeah.
So you teach, too.
I do teach, yeah.
So which is heavier now? Is it your performances that... I'm not trying to figure out an exact number. I'm just asking.
Are you
generally,
asking how much I make a month?
Yeah. I was trying to dodge around
Yeah.
sounding like that that whole time, but I
Trying
mean,
to find out how much I'm worth?
yeah. How much are you worth? Are you rich? Like, do you got the bling? Are you wearing Gucci right now? Is that a
Ooh.
Gucci sweater?
You can't tell. I know this looks like a regular t-shirt, but it is, in fact, no, it's a regular t-shirt. It's,
Hashtag Supreme.
Hashtag Supreme. I wish. No. Honestly, financially and time-wise, it's about 50-50.
Oh, okay.
And that's, like, not me trying not to answer. It is genuine in that, yeah, I make about half of my money from teaching and half my money from gigging. And then I spend about half of my time teaching and
Okay.
half of my time gigging.
Do you like it like that, or is the goal to ultimately become dependent on gigging?
In an ideal world, I would love to always be able to do both. I think I'm more passionate about my own music, and not because I don't love teaching and I don't love my students, but I do feel like that's something that I should pursue now while I am young and have the time and energy and ability. And I'm willing to, like, sleep on people's couches as I'm traveling. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a good, comfy couch.
Nothing wrong with that. No, you're totally right. We've stayed in lots of Airbnbs, and sometimes the beds that they have listed are really couches. So, no, I'm no stranger to a
A pull
good
out?
couch.
Is it
Yeah,
like it like that horrible pull out where you lay down and you can just feel the frame? in it?
Totally.
Oh,
And you're like, this
no.
would just be better if I was sleeping on it as a couch. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I would like to just do gigging if I had to only do one, just because I'm so passionate about writing and that whole side of it. But there are gigging musicians that still do Skype lessons or, like, come back for 3 months and teach and then go back on the road and stuff like that. So that's all kind of, it would be ideal to keep both. I love teaching and.
Are you trying to get to the top though?
I'm trying to get on top. Yeah. Get to the top.
Yeah.
Sure.
Big
Why
venues.
not? Yeah. Yeah.
Does it scare you?
No. But that's because if I do end up, I mean, in a crazy shooting for the stars world, if I was playing crazy big venues, I'm assuming that I would work my way up. And so, no. Each step is exciting.
I appreciate your courage.
Thank you. Yeah. I think if tomorrow you're like, hey, you're playing Madison Square Garden, then I would be nervous. But, taking it step by step, it all makes sense to me.
Yeah, just increasing numbers gradually.
Totally, yeah.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
What did you do for work before you got into professional music?
Oh, I worked at Applebee's.
Did you really? Were you a server?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
For like 5 years.
5 years?
Mm-hmm. And I stayed there for a bit. So I worked there all through college, and then I stayed there like really, really part-time, kind of as just like a getting nervous about just doing music type thing. So I just like kept it, like would work once a week or something like that, just so I had it as a backup.
Sure.
And it was great. It was super great. They were so cool. They worked with my schedule. I liked my coworkers.
Nice.
I obviously can talk to people or else I wouldn't be a musician. So like,
you're really good at talking to people.
Thank you. Yeah, I do it every day. So it's a practice thing.
Right.
Just got to keep it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was that your first job?
My first job, I worked at a smoothie place when I lived in California.
Where in California?
Riverside, California.
Yucca Valley.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Not even kidding you. That's where I grew up.
Ah.
Yeah, my brother lives in South Pasadena.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah. Riverside.
Yeah,
Wow. I did
know.
not see that coming.
Weird, right?
Yeah, that's super weird.
So then you get the exact same questions about like, why'd you move to Fargo? I bet it's really cold up here.
What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
I'm here because it's better.
Yes. I know, like it's hard to explain to people, but it's like just like so many people were like, oh, why didn't you move back to pursue music? And it's like, because I got to pay way less to
Right.
get way more like one-on-one time with professors and like way more opportunities, and people are super duper supportive of the arts in Fargo Moorhead. Like I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
people really acknowledge how great of a community it is to kind of harness your skills and practice them out and work with different people. So
There's a lot of angry people in California.
so many angry people.
Yeah.
Like it's sunny all the time. What do you got to be angry about?
Right, exactly.
Chill out.
But you know what? For Fargo's community, I will gladly sacrifice being cold in the winter
Totally, yeah.
to have what we have.
And I don't, maybe you agree with me on this, but when I moved here, people used to always like be like, oh, I bet the weather was so much better in California. And I'm like, okay, yes, most of the time it is, but some months in the summer are so hot that I would say they're
Yes.
comparable to the winter, where it's like in the summer in California, you don't hang out outside. You go from one air-conditioned room to the next. Or
You have the
run to your
sprayers.
car. Literally.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, you're trying to avoid the outside elements, which
Yeah.
is so similar to here, where it's like you go from one heated room to the next, and
Right.
you know.
And you know what was the worst? The absolute worst. Like here, you've got that bitter cold where
Yep.
where the wind just picks up and just bites you.
Yep.
And out there, it feels like there's like a heater just on blast on you when that wind picks up. I could
Totally.
not stand that.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
Horrible.
Ugh, yeah.
And not to mention the economy. It's like you can't just get a regular job there
Yeah.
and maintain it. I tried to go back. I came out here in '98 for my first job. My sister had married somebody that was from central Minnesota.
Oh, cool.
And my first job was building milking parlors. I'll never do that ever again. It really
Weird.
really taught me to hate cows.
Oh no!
I
You see
do
a cow,
not
you
like
get
it.
triggered. Just
I,
like, "Ah."
yeah, screw you, cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not that bad. But I mean, it's just like, yep, no, I'm okay with not working on a farm. I'm all right with that. But I did try to go back a couple of times. I went back for about a year and then came back here. I was here for a couple of years, and then I tried to go back again, and it didn't work out. And then I just realized, like, it's just better out
Yeah.
here. It's easier to find work. It's easier to do things. Rent is a hell of a lot cheaper. Oh man, it's ridiculous. So
I know, it's crazy when I look and I compare some of like my peers growing up, like the lives that they ended up living compared to like mine, and just like how vastly different they are. And just like, I wouldn't have been able to afford college in California.
oh yeah.
You know, I worked at a smoothie shop.
right.
I could barely afford gas and insurance, you know, so like,
yeah.
let alone anything else. So I feel really, really lucky that I moved here. I moved here my senior year of high school.
How did you what transitioned you to Fargo specifically instead of somewhere else?
My dad got a job.
Oh, okay.
So my
Nice,
whole
nice.
family packed it up, moved across the country, and then
What does he do?
he works for a church. He now works in Litchfield, Minnesota. He just
Oh yeah, I know
switched church.
Litchfield.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So he just moved over there. So my family is actually in the process of moving, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he does like the administrative stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
He's
Okay,
like the crunching numbers, telling people yes or no type.
Ooh, the
keep to the vision.
budgeter.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. What was your most hated job?
My most hated job? Ooh.
Ooh, you didn't have one, huh?
No.
Usually
There's
those
so
stick out
many.
like a sore thumb.
Well, no, one immediately came to mind, and I was like, is it mean? I nannied for a bit of my life, and there were
Oh,
definitely...
that's not mean.
Well, there were
Ooh.
some people that made it more difficult than others.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we
So-
don't have to name anybody specifically,
No.
but
But Becky, if you're listening... No, I'm just,
I
I'm
was
just
like,
kidding.
oh man, that escalated quick. I was like, holy crap.
No, I'm just kidding. I never have nannied anyone named Becky, so we're good.
Okay, perfect. Just didn't like the kid thing or what?
Yeah, I'm not really good at... I struggle with this now, even like, especially with kids establishing a relationship. Like, you can always give in a bit, but you can't really like take back. So I was super chill, and I was like, I'm the chill nanny, whatever, you do you, I'm gonna do me. And then they started running the house, and I was
Yes.
like, wait a minute, hold up. So,
No, man, kids are smart. Their little brains are sponges, man. They take in so much information and they learn fast.
yep. So pretty soon I was being nannied.
By the kids.
Yeah, they were like, I think you want to play hide and seek. And I was like, I'm good. And they're like, I think you want to play hide and seek. And I was like,
Ooh,
all right, I guess I'm playing
okay.
hide and seek.
Right, seriously. What about you? Do you want to start a family and all that stuff, or are you good, or what?
I'm good for a bit. I'm really enjoying this.
I got that vibe off you with the whole
With the
dedicated. Well, no, not like. Well, I mean, obviously combined with the nanny thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, like how dedicated you are to your music and everything like that, and
Yeah.
how far you want to take it and everything. It just makes sense.
Yeah, I'm really sold on pursuing this music thing. I've always told myself, like, for sure until 30, I'm going to give it my best go. And then
How old
kind
are
of
you now?
reevaluate.
If you don't mind me asking.
I'm
in that case.
24.
24?
I know.
Seriously?
I have such an old soul. No, I'm just kidding. I am
Oh,
24.
you're funny. How old do you think I am? Don't worry, you're not going to make me mad.
Okay, you said something about coming here in 98, and I literally in my head, I go, ooh, I was 3 when you moved here the first
yeah,
time.
I suppose. I
And
tipped you
were-
off. Yeah.
you're starting your first job. So I'm going to guess maybe 32, 33?
Oh, you're so kind. Bless your heart.
Okay.
I'm almost 40.
No way.
Yeah, I'll be 39 this year.
You're rocking it.
Kind of.
Kind of, okay.
It's been a long, bumpy road.
Okay.
I came from a really rocky history, and it was one of those where I was just... I don't even know how to describe it. It was just one of those things where I was like, okay, we got to make a change. Like, I got to turn stuff around. And it's been a long road, but I'm happy where I landed.
Good.
Like, I'm happy to be in Fargo, surrounded by good people,
Yeah.
doing this. It took me a while to figure this out. That was interesting, because ever since my early mid-20s, just like, oh, you'll be able to relate to this. So everybody was telling me, like, Phil, you got that radio voice. You need to get on radio. You got to get on radio. And it's like, I don't know the first thing about radio.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about radio. Until finally one of my friends from North Carolina, she turned around and she was like, well, have you ever thought about podcasting? And I was like, no. She's like, I'll sponsor you if you start a podcast. I'm like, deal.
Done.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
then that's how this came to be. And
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love podcasts. I feel like I just did one with Connor my guitar player.
Connor Lee has a podcast?
No. We were on a pod. You got so excited.
I did. I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get a hold of Connor.
No, we did a podcast together. It was on JJ Meets World, which is a local podcast too.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Cool.
But I was telling him, I was like, I love podcasts because it's kind of like free therapy. Like, we just get to come in, talk about stuff, and then go on with your day.
Relax, minimal prep.
Yeah, totally.
Don't have to bring all the instruments.
Yeah, I just get to, I love chatting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So. Well, me too, obviously. Yeah,
you
are welcome here anytime you like. Oh,
Thank
God.
you.
If I could make this a career, that would be like...
ideal, right?
That'd be the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would certainly... I'd quit my day job and...
No more cows.
No more cows. No more cattle. No, not going to do the rancher thing anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay. What was the next? I'm just like totally dropping the ball. I got it in the moment here. I need another
that's
question
okay.
for you.
I can call.
How's your mom?
My mom is great. It's her birthday on Monday. Happy
is
birthday,
it?
Joy.
Happy birthday, Mom. Joy is her name? Happy birthday, Joy.
She won't listen to this because it's my mom, but my dad will, and I'm sure he'll be excited.
Ooh, okay. Now I feel okay.
But don't feel bad. Don't take it personally.
No. Now I'm like, okay, I gotta do this.
No.
I gotta be on point. I gotta watch it.
Cool.
So, okay. Do you have any like rituals that you do for your voice? This was a rumor that I heard online for big singers. They have like a ritual that they do.
Before shows or just every day?
Just either every day, like an exercise, or like even before shows, you have like a ritual sentence like "How now, brown cow" or something like that.
Gosh, I wish I was that cool to have a ritual before shows. I do practice probably 5 days a week on average. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the week.
So when you say practice, do you sing your own songs, or like what do you practice?
What do I practice? So I start out with, I always practice ear training. Actually, Chris, shout out to Chris.
We got to get Chris back on here.
What a great time. Great time. I actually just hung out with him last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's back. Yeah, he was in San Diego.
He just got back. Yeah, he was like, hey, do you want to meet up so I can tell you about how great San Diego was while you were stuck here? And I was like, ha.
Nice.
Of course.
That sounds exactly like Chris.
Yeah. So I always start out with ear training and doing...
What is ear training?
Ear training is like being able to hear different intervals and knowing what it is. So like just hearing things. So like I always practice chord progressions and like being able to say like, oh, that's a 2-6-3-1 progression or whatever.
Okay.
And then different intervals and melodic dictation. So like hearing the note in the context of the key and being able to say what it is.
Okay.
And then I work on my technique stuff. I do take voice lessons as well. So anything that I'm working on with my voice teacher, working on that. And then I typically practice jazz standards.
Okay.
Because they are... the melodies are typically like a little bit more challenging than like pop songs. So working on that and working on a transcription of an instrumental solo. So right now I'm working on a Paul Desmond solo. And then I try to write. And so that typically takes me like 2 to 3 hours.
I'm so glad you said that. That led me directly to the next question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Are your songs personal? I mean, are you writing about yourself?
A lot of times it comes easier when I write about myself lyrically, but I find a lot of times too that I'll start out writing about myself and then just to kind of fit the song, it might change a bit, or a lot of times it's about this feeling. It's not about specific events, but about like those type of events, or like
You're writing emotions.
Yes, and I'm not writing like this one time I made a sandwich. You know, like it's...
I'm going to make a sandwich.
Yeah, it's like, I'm hungry. You know, like a song about being hungry.
I'm
instead
so
of,
happy your mom's not going to listen to this.
I know. She'd be like, I can't believe you said that. I got annoyed. She does, though. I'm going to tell her to listen to this. We're talking about her way too much for her not to listen.
Well, you could have your dad, like, totally tell her
True.
and then pick
Fill
on her about
in.
it.
Yeah. True. Maybe I won't say anything. I'll just tell my dad to listen.
That would be funny.
Hey, John.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hope you're doing well.
This is super awkward.
Not at all. My dad's one of the coolest people I know, so he'll love it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
We're
Nice.
like kind of the same person, I think.
John, if you hear this, you have to pick on Joy about the sandwich thing. John, if you're listening to this right now, I want you to walk into the kitchen and I want you to just sing loudly about this awesome sandwich you're going to make for yourself.
Totally. I cannot wait to hear how that goes.
Joy, if you listen to this part, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. It's good content.
I love it. It's amazing content.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Litchfield, you said.
Yes.
Is that, but you live here?
I live here and I will stay, I'll be in Fargo.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, let's take music out of it for a minute.
Cool.
And I totally forgot where I was going with that.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I think that you should keep this, though. I don't think you should edit it out and post. I think
No.
that the listeners should know that you're human and you make mistakes.
That was so methodical.
I only say that because I know I'm going to say something dumb at some point because I'm human, and then now we'll both have
Perfect.
parts where they go,
It was so funny. I was planning and prepping all morning for you to be here.
Oh, really?
I totally was.
Oh, cool.
Like I got the pre-roll done. Oh, yeah. Hey, speaking of that, is it cool if I use some images off the website?
Please do.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm all set. I'm all ready to go. And now I'm like, okay. Right. I'm human. I'm totally human.
Human.
What do you got coming up?
As far as shows?
Yeah.
Like I said, January's pretty sparse, but we're doing a little trip to Bemidji and then Duluth for the second weekend of February.
Ooh, you be careful in Duluth. Do you have a bus?
No.
How do you normally travel?
A minivan.
You have a minivan?
We all fit in a minivan, yeah.
What kind of minivan?
I think it's like a Kia.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know cars. Optima? Is that a minivan? I could be lying. I don't know.
Either way, it's still a minivan.
It's a white minivan, and it definitely looks like our bass player. It's our bass player Evan's car, and
Okay.
it always looks like he's like dropping us off to soccer practice.
I was just thinking that. I was getting
Yeah.
ready to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, be careful in Duluth. I hear the roads are super bad.
really.
Yeah, I heard
Big
it's
yikes.
no bueno there. Bemidji, though.
Bemidji.
How did you get up that direction? Because it gets, speaking of sparse, it gets pretty small townish up there.
Yeah. Yep. So honestly, I was just looking for. I think to be a great musician, you have to be good at borrowing or stealing, however you want to call it. And so
Ooh, I want to hear about your theft.
about my theft. Oh no. But I was looking at tour dates or like just different places to play. And I'm not from here, so like I don't know all these like little small towns or whatever. So I was looking into like what some of my peer groups in the area, like where they go and play.
Sure.
And one of my all-time favorite Fargo bands, Stovepipes. Shout out to the Stovepipes.
Yo, buddy. They're so awesome. Everybody that night was awesome.
Yeah, their drummer is great, Channing.
Yes. I said the same thing to Channing, too, that I'm going to say to you now. I'm never going to hear the end of that.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like, man, those pink lights, they just don't do them justice. Like, that is weird.
Different, very different, yeah. But I saw that they played in Bemidji, and I was like, oh, cool. I've never heard of that place. So I, reached out to Cody, and I was like, hey, did you guys play here? Did you like it? Can I get the contact? And he's like, totally. And so we played there last year at some point, towards the end of summer, and they asked us to come back, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about St. Cloud area?
We haven't played anything in St. Cloud. We played in the cities a few times, but we haven't played in St. Cloud.
And then you just got back from Wisconsin.
We were in Wisconsin for a weekend,
That's right.
yeah. We played in Eau Claire and La Crosse.
How the hell did you get out that far?
So our friends in the band, the Latelys, they're actually based out of Duluth.
Okay.
They played a few shows with us. We played in Fargo together, and then we did a weekend in Wisconsin together. So, and that's a lot closer for them than it is for us, but.
What's the farthest you ever gone?
Rapid City, South Dakota.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a jaunt.
Our bass player is Evan is from Rapid City. So we didn't
Okay.
actually play in Rapid City. We played in Custer and in Spearfish.
Spearfish. What was the venue?
Crow Peak.
Crow Peak. Oh, it was an actual
a brewery.
music. Oh, it was a brewery.
It was a brewery.
Okay,
there.
like
and
Drekkers.
then yep, yeah. And then Custer
Okay.
was an actual music venue, and that was called the Custer Beacon.
Okay.
Super cool.
The
It was
Custer Beacon.
so cool. Yeah,
That's
they
a
had
unique
like
name.
a bunch of couches out front, and yeah, like it was super cool seating and it was a huge room, but it felt really intimate, like a house show or something. It was
Okay.
super cool.
Like what kind of couches? Like legit, soft
Yes.
cloth couches?
Like a couch that you would just like.
What do they do about the weather?
Well, it's inside.
Oh, I thought you were
inside.
talking. I'm sorry. I got Drekkers stuck in my head.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's what I was tripping on. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it was
So,
inside.
okay.
It was like a huge warehouse type thing.
What did the warehouse used to be? Do you know?
No idea.
See, that's what I love about Drekkers is they moved into that old train yard.
Yep.
And that's just such a
It's so
perfect,
cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The first time I went there, I was like, I want to eat a Thanksgiving feast here.
I tried to get our company Christmas party there.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Very cool.
it wouldn't be big enough though.
Oh my gosh, where do you work? Your day job? Can you say?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 100% separation. I'll tell you after.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, everybody. I can't.
Identity must remain anonymous.
Yes.
No, that's very, very smart.
Yeah, I try to be.
Yeah.
Did you know that at Brewhalla, which is the official name for the Drekkers train yard?
Yep.
Did you know somebody lives in the inn there?
No way.
That's a house. Like,
Really?
because they have that barrel room or whatever the event room is in the back. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like right next to the bathrooms.
Yep.
Did you notice the wall stops right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's somebody's house.
Oh
at
my
the end.
gosh.
How jealous are you right now? I would love to live there.
Oh my gosh. It would be so bad for my health and my wallet. But yeah, I'd probably be so happy.
Right. Are you a beer girl?
I love beer. That's also like the thing that I love traveling is going to different breweries.
Seriously?
Yes.
I never would have spotted that on you.
Really.
Oh my God, this is so crazy right now. It's so crazy how you are a beer girl.
Yep.
You're craft brew, and Channing is all about White Claw.
I know.
I'm not
Breaking
trying to
gender
be-
norms.
I know, right?
Us
I'm not trying to be judgy on this one, but that's
No.
just, it's so funny how you and him are just polar opposites
Polar
on
opposites.
that stuff.
Yeah, no. Give
That's
me
so funny.
Give me a nice. I'm really into sours. I've just started to get into IPAs.
Okay.
So every time that I travel and any time that like our gigging schedule allows, I like to go to breweries and try different things. And I
Nice.
stand by it. I think that we have the best breweries in
Oh,
the
yeah.
world. Like Junkyard and Drekker
Oh, yeah.
and Fargo Brewing. Like we have some real tasty, tasty treats available whenever.
Another funny story about Fargo Brewing.
Oh no.
So you remember when I ditched you at the mall?
Yes. You did not ditch me. You were so kind.
I 100% ditched you at the mall. So here's what happened. Chris told me, he was like, oh, yeah, no, Jessica's all about it. She wants to be on your podcast, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, oh, hey, we're both playing the mall. Come to the mall. You could do a meet and greet, everything like that. So I show up at the mall, and I don't know what I was thinking as far as like time went because I had another thing I had to go do.
Yeah.
But I showed up a little late, and I stayed for Chris's whole set. And then we did that meet and greet, and I didn't really realize what time it was. So, yeah, I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? It's good to meet you. Okay, bye.
Totally okay, though. Totally okay.
So when I was watching Chris's set, there was like the typical, I feel so bad for saying it this way because I'm not this judgy of a person.
Okay.
The America, hillbilly type looking, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm familiar with the stereotype.
Yes,
Yeah.
that stereotype.
Yes.
So there's that stereotype of people carrying beers, Fargo Brewing beers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, they brought beer to the mall to this? Like, really? Like, bro, it's only like, 1 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
and you're at the mall during Christmas time, and you guys just posted up at this table with a 12-pack of beer? Like, are you kidding me right now? So I'm snapping this, right?
Yeah.
And then, what did I do? I was taking a snap of somebody else that I was talking to, and in my camera, I can see over my shoulder Fargo Brewing had a table where
Yep.
they were passing out samples, and I'm like, I run into the most awkward situations, like the incident with Channing, and then
You know what it is? It's whenever you get your phone out to Snapchat things. I'm seeing a pattern. You see something funny, and you
Snapchat
immediately,
is beating me up.
I know.
That's the one piece of social media I'm all about is Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah, I love Snapchat so much.
Okay.
It's super easy, and I don't know.
The only thing I don't like about it is that some people prefer to talk over Snapchat. Like, I always make fun of Chris because Chris will, like, snap message me. And I'm like, just text me. Like,
oh, that. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. When it comes to texting, yes. Yep.
But so, yeah, when, like, conversation, like, if you have, like, if a funny photo sparks a really interesting conversation, and then as soon as you open it, it's gone. That's a bummer.
True, which is why I save mine.
Oh, you always save your Snapchats?
Well, there's like a feature where it'll save it to
Your memories.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if there is something like, oh yeah, you need to check this out, I can just pull up my phone and show somebody.
True.
But
that's a good point. Yep.
Yeah. But I hear what you're saying though, the whole disposable picture thing.
Yes, sometimes I want things for longer, but also it's a great medium to like take a photo. Like, I've taken stupid photos of like silly inside joke stuff and sent it and like whatever, and then it's gone.
Those are the best.
And that's what it needs to be sometimes. Like, you don't forever need a photo of like, oh, remember this one time we ate these Doritos and stayed up all night? Like.
Is there a Dorito story? I'm wondering why Doritos came up.
I ate Doritos for lunch today. Maybe
Did you?
That's why, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. That's
They're
all right.
delightful.
I had what did I have for? I had a cheap brunch.
Okay.
I'm huge into like breakfast sandwiches. I love breakfast sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm all about breakfast.
Are you a
is-
fan of McDonald's breakfast sandwiches?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
I do not like McDonald's breakfast sandwiches.
Okay.
I like their breakfast burritos.
I've never had it. Gotta try it.
They're cheap and simple. Like,
Okay.
they're super simple. But like, what is that? Oh, Hardee's. Like Hardee's, their sunrise croissants.
Okay. Yep.
Hardee's and Burger King, I think, do it best. Man, I sound super.
Breakfast with class.
I know. I was just. You say those two together, and you're like, man, yeah, I eat some cheap food.
Have you considered switching this podcast to just be about breakfast food?
I could make that happen.
You
I could
could,
100%
yeah.
make that happen.
You could
And we could totally just bite off of the Breakfast Club. I could just steal that.
totally, and just like bring in different guests, and you try different breakfast foods, and you talk about the food, but then you also talk about life.
And my goal would be to get Gordon Ramsay in here.
Oh gosh, what a treat!
Oh man, was that an eye roll?
No,
Okay.
I mean that genuinely.
Oh, okay.
He's a funny man. I think it'd be easy to get him here. All you have to do.
What?
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
do you got like a connection? Like, we
No,
need to go
no.
down this road.
No, I wish. If I did, I would let you know.
Have you ever seen Hot Ones?
I am
YouTube?
obsessed with Hot Ones.
He was on there.
Yes, it was a great episode. That's literally what I thought of. My friends and I actually are so obsessed with Hot Ones, and we love spicy food so much that we invested way too much money, and we bought all of the hot sauces from Hot Ones.
Oh, seriously?
And we went to Beato's and got a bunch of wings, and we did it all together, and we like asked each other questions. We did Instagram deep dives on each other. Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
that's one of my I have a few like things that like, God, if I do ever like take off, I really hope that I do it before Hot Ones is done, because I just think it's such a crazy cool concept.
It's awesome.
It's and
a
the
brilliant
questions are
idea.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, he is
Very thoughtful.
the king of questions. Yeah, absolutely. You need to make me a part of that next time. I'm a little jealous.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you, but
that's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But next time we'll throw a Hot Ones party.
Yes.
We had even considered too, we're like, would people want to like come and just watch? And then we're like, no, nobody wants to watch us eat hot wings and suffer. Like, this is just for us three.
No,
But I don't know. Maybe.
You'd be surprised. Like right now, I'm thinking like on the stage at Drecker's.
Oh.
Like maybe a table
yeah.
like this with some microphones talking.
Totally. Like
with
a live
whole
show.
bunch of hot wings.
That'd be so fun.
I wouldn't even know how to do that.
I know. I don't know.
That would be
And it got intense because we ate all of the wings, and I'm not going to say who I did it with, but I was the only one out of the three of us that didn't throw up. Yeah.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah.
Iron stomach. I
know.
like it.
No, I couldn't sleep all night. I slept horribly.
Were you just tossing and turning in pain?
Yes.
Oh, you poor girl.
The bomb
so
was
sorry.
the worst. It was the nastiest thing I've ever put in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's that bad.
It was so bad. Yeah, it made my two friends. They both threw up. One of them threw up like while we were still doing it.
Oh no.
He was like, I don't feel well. I'm gonna go, and he was gone for like 10 minutes, and it was like at his place too. And his like roommate walks in, and we're like, oh, sorry, we're just like hanging out in your kitchen. And he like came back and was like, yeah, no, I definitely felt like I had the flu for a second, and then he threw it up, and then he was okay, and he ended up finishing. He ate the last stab. Proud of him. Yep.
Wow, champ.
I know, he was a champ. I ate half of his last stab, but
oh man, you were all about it.
I love spicy food. Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
I like anything. I'm a really big fan of like Mexican food, and I'm a really big fan of like pad thai and sushi.
Love pad thai.
Yeah,
Sushi is my favorite food. But
really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I love pad thai.
I always put sriracha on my sushi. It's gross. It's a gross thing
That is
to do.
gross.
I know.
Really? Sriracha?
Because I like the spice.
Well, no, I understand that, but
Yeah.
sriracha, that just doesn't seem like it would fit.
It works out okay.
Does it?
Yeah, I enjoy
I mean,
it.
does it? Or
Yeah.
you kind of said that hesitantly, like, well, yeah, it does its job.
Well, it works. It works. I don't like wasabi, so like if I liked wasabi, I think that'd definitely be more appropriate. But
That's a little awkward.
I know.
What's I don't even know how to ask this.
I don't
What's
like the
difference?
flavor of wasabi.
Oh.
The flavor of sriracha is delightful to me.
Sure.
And also, like, a huge fan of Wasabi, the restaurant in here in Fargo. They have great sushi. Love their sushi. Have you ever been there?
I don't think I've ever heard of it. I'm sorry.
My favorite sushi in town.
Really?
So great.
Where's
Yeah.
it at?
It's downtown. It's like right on 2nd Avenue and Broadway.
Okay.
So you've got to check out their sushi. It's delightful. But they
Definitely.
have like all sushi places have like spicy mayo spicy mayo. I think that's what.
Yeah.
But it's like basically just like sriracha and
mayo.
So yeah. So I don't feel too weird about putting sriracha on my sushi.
I suppose, yeah, you do have a good point with that.
Yeah.
I've never
Not putting like Cholula on it or anything. That would be weird.
Right. Oh yeah, now we have a
Yeah.
spicy standard here. Yeah,
Ooh.
not Cholula.
Yeah. That's for breakfast only.
Well, when I eat pad thai, I think more tart than spicy. So like lime.
Oh,
You know
okay,
what I mean?
sure,
Like
yeah.
I like to go that route with it. So if you could only eat one food,
Burritos, yeah.
no kidding. You're
Yeah.
a Chipotle girl, or you?
Chipotle's good, yeah. Yeah, Chipotle's good. I just am a fan of anything wrapped in a tortilla. I probably eat a tortilla a day. It's
Seriously?
like that. Yeah.
Have you ever made your own?
Yes, all the time. Yeah.
Tell me about Jessica's burrito.
They-
I want to know, like, you have all the ingredients in the world to work with, including your sriracha.
Okay. Sick. Okay, so if I'm to take you through an average lunch at my place that I'm just making for me, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of heat and a lot of judgment on this. Listen, this is my preference.
This is a good question. I love it.
This is what I like to eat. This is by no means do I think that this is like authentic Mexican at all, but obviously a tortilla, and then I get refried beans, and then I put carrots, green peppers, cabbage. And are you getting scared?
I'm just getting curious because all of a sudden you went from the whole Mexican to the Asian route.
To now it's like a veggie
Yeah,
wrap.
okay. I'm really curious if you're going to say pad thai next.
No, I have had a pad thai burrito.
No
but
way.
I literally have. Yeah. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But and then I put lettuce on it. I put Greek yogurt instead of sour cream.
Why?
Just because it's healthier. A little less sour.
Okay. All right.
I
Keep
feel
going.
less guilty about putting a lot on. And then I put some sriracha on there. And then I buy Taco Bell fire sauce. I always have it at my place. And I put a healthy amount of that on there too.
But what about protein?
I just rock the refried beans. I don't
Really?
eat. I don't eat a lot of meat at home. I don't have like any meat at home. No.
Are you vegetarian?
No, I try not to eat meat, like just because then forces me to eat more vegetables. But
is that the only reason, or are you like personal against the animals and stuff like that?
I'm sure if I really looked into it, I would be. But
that was so funny to watch your face on that. I wish I had video on that. It was like you're trying to decide like, okay, that would be a good thing for me to stand for, but I don't really want to go find out.
But I'm not educated enough on that topic. No, it's more so just a health thing and just kind of to like look out for the planet thing,
Okay.
Kind of. If I can eat less meat, I will. But it's mostly like a health thing.
Gotcha.
Save more room for the veggies.
All right. Favorite veggie?
Favorite veggie? I don't know if I can pick a favorite. I think the one I eat the most is carrots because I think it goes with everything. I knew you were going to say
that. The second you started describing your burrito and you said that carrot, I was like, that's an odd one.
It just has that tasty crunch. It's a texture thing.
The texture thing, yeah.
Can go with anything.
100% with you on that. The crunch is awesome. So now tell me about the pad thai burrito.
Okay, so I am a really big fan of diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that Guy Fieri?
Yeah.
Is that okay.
Yeah. I was actually him for Halloween this year, so.
Oh, wait, I think I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, Mayor
Nice.
of Flavortown. And he went to a place in, I think, Superior, Wisconsin, which is like right by Duluth. So I went to Duluth I've gone now twice, but the first time I went was like back in September 2018. And we took the trip to go to the restaurant that he had been at, and they had a pad thai burrito, and it's delightful. Yes.
It was good.
Amazing.
What describe to me what else was in there. Was there shrimp in there, or was there?
No, I think you could pick your protein.
Okay.
But it was just like it was just like delightful pad thai, and they just like put it in a burrito.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, that sounds
a
amazing.
Genius idea.
Yeah. That sounds really well.
Pad thai on the go.
Well, I'm just thinking about the whole, mixing Mexican food with Asian food.
Yeah.
And
worlds colliding.
Right. I love good food.
Same.
I absolutely love good food. Okay, so besides Diet Coke, what's it gonna be?
For drinks?
Yeah.
If I'm speaking truthfully, it's probably a good craft beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What's your favorite right now? In town. Let's narrow that down because that could be a huge question.
Last night I went to Junkyard and I had their Super Slurp, and their Super Slurps are always delightful.
Is that a sour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just 100% sour girl.
I love sours, but I'm also getting an IPAs too. So.
Okay. Yeah, you did mention that.
I'll drink an IPA, or like anything in between too. Like I'll drink lagers or. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of stouts. Just because they're so thick, but
yeah,
I still enjoy it. And filling, yeah.
Yeah, after about 2, you're like, okay, I'm done. I felt like I ate 10 pounds of food.
Totally, yeah. And then you didn't even get to eat food, but you feel full.
Right.
I hate that, so.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling. Mm-hmm. What about your family? Are they like, I don't know why, but I've just got this image. Maybe it's the Litchfield thing that's doing it. That just like a meat and potatoes kind of.
That is not too wrong.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, my dad is. My mom is very like conscious of what she eats and puts into her body.
Ooh, okay. What? Like what's the majority of things you see her eating?
She eats a lot of vegetables. She eats a lot of like lean protein.
Now I know where the vegetables came from.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's definitely
way to go,
from my dad.
Mom.
I know, yeah. My mom instilled in me a desire for veggies. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. My siblings kind of range. I have a sister who's vegan. So she's pretty particular too. One of my sisters, she's like doesn't do well with gluten, so she like sticks away from it. She's like really weird stomach. Like her stomach is always hurting after she eats, so she like is really careful about what she eats. Yeah, I know it majorly sucks because I'm like, I'm loving this burger, and she's like, I can't eat that.
It must be nice, thanks.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, is there plenty of moments like that where she's like, that's great, cool, just eat your food?
And well, it's more so that she's like, well, fine, I'm just gonna eat it, and then like an hour later, she's like, my stomach hurts, and we're like, dude, we told you. We told you.
Do you have a lot of siblings? How many siblings do you have?
5.
5?
Yeah. Can you guess which one I am?
Oh, all right. I'm gonna say your it's either 2 or 3. Am I right?
Wrong.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I was solid on that.
You were so confident.
I was, yeah.
Sorry to disappoint.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, just.
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
I know.
Was there, all right, now I definitely want to know the answer to this question. Was there a lot of sibling rivalry?
No, I don't think so. At least not that I know. But I was maybe just in my own little happy bubble. I don't think so.
Now, you mentioned 2. Is it all girls?
There are 4 girls, 1 boy.
Okay. Where's the boy land in the
He's
ranking?
the second to youngest.
Second to youngest. Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Do you guys pick on him a lot or what?
No, he's like honestly the coolest one out of all of us. It's so annoying. And he's like he's like the most
That's
emotionally
awesome.
mature. He's like 14 and like just super even keel. Like, yeah. He's just really cool.
And you're jealous of him.
Yes, I'm jealous of like his emotional maturity with some things where he just is like, well, it is what it is. Let's just do it. And I'm like, you're not going to complain? You're not going to fight back? You're just going to, oh, okay, cool.
Fine, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is so great. So you've never been in a fight with your siblings before?
Well, okay. Now, I've definitely been in some fights. I think my sister, the one that's like second oldest, her and I, we definitely had our like fights as a kid.
Okay.
As kids. But now that we're older, we're really close. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's usually the way it turns out.
Yeah. Well, we definitely had some.
Fist fights?
Never fist fights. It was more like.
Emotionally attacking.
Kind of. I'm sure. Yeah. It was more like mean words, and then like the most physical we got is like my family has this thing where we call it like scrunching, but that just I know.
Oh no, you got to define that.
Exactly.
What in the world is scrunching?
It's like where you just like squeeze really hard with your nails first, like a scrunch.
I am
Sometimes
not
you
following.
twist.
What are you talking about?
Like if you were to like grab, like to pinch somebody.
Oh,
like, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's how you would qute unquote attack each
That's
other.
how you would attack each. Yeah. And you'd be like, "Ow, mom, she scrunched me."
Oh, that is so great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how young is the youngest?
She's 12.
She's 12. Okay.
So there's a 12-year age gap between us.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Nice. How long have your mom and dad been together?
I think I should know this. I think 20.
Ooh, we're gonna get her in trouble now.
I know. I think 26 years.
26.
They were married for 2 years before I was born.
Were they? Were you guys always in California? Did you move around a lot? I mean, what was the deal there?
We were in California till we moved here.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was just the same area the whole time. So we didn't move around too much.
Is there a lot of musical influence in your family, throughout the whole family?
You know, my dad, when he lived in California, or when we all lived in California, he worked for a church there, and he did a lot of sound stuff.
Oh.
So he's really into, like, the audio and production side of music, and I think, like...
Well, if you have any tips, John, I'm listening.
He would love to help. No, he's like so into that. So sometimes he'll still come and like run our sound and
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's super cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet he has a blast doing it too.
He does, yeah. And everybody in the band loves him. Like I think it would be I try to be really cautious of like, hey, if you guys like don't want my dad to come hang around, like I get it. And everybody's like, no, please, like have
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. My friends like my dad, I think, more than they like me. Like if I come hang out, they're like, oh, hey, Jess. And then like if my dad comes, they're like, oh my God, John's here. We always make
Is there
that
a little
joke.
bit of jealousy there?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. You got the cool dad. You should be proud of that.
True.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, that just means you're cool too. They're just more used to it because
Yeah.
you're always around.
True. My dad is like extra special.
Yeah, I can see you're like, oh, this is not fair.
I'm like, he better listen to this and appreciate how nicely I'm speaking of him.
You wouldn't have all these cool friends if it weren't for me, Dad.
Yeah, for real. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he actually worked with Connor for a bit, for like 2 years or something like that. Like Connor worked directly with my dad.
Okay.
And they got really, really tight. And so like sometimes Connor would text me and be like, hey, I'm just eating lunch with your dad. And I'm like, I haven't seen my dad this week. Like, what the heck?
No big whoop.
Yeah, for reals. I'm like,
That's
okay,
so awesome.
cool.
So who's the main four in your group? 4?
There's five.
Five.
Five of us.
Sorry,
Mhm.
five. Who's the main five?
So it's me, Jessica Fines, Connor Lee on guitar, Evan Geiger on bass,
Okay.
Jack Anderson on tenor sax, and then Alex Van Eckhout on the drums.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Do you have like a thing that you guys do after a gig? Like, do you have like
Drink.
a ritual?
No,
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
we get annihilated.
Yeah. No, it depends. We're also really big into food. Well, yeah, we all really like to eat.
After the puking wing story, I gathered that much.
that we like to eat, yeah. So that is oftentimes something that we do. Connor is always hungry. I don't know how, but he's always hungry and he's always down to eat.
He's one of those metabolism guys, isn't he?
For reals,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so jealous of that.
Same. I'm like, where does it,
Right.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, like, we'll get some food or sometimes we will. I like to explore new cities. So, like, when we play somewhere different, it's super fun to, like, if a local has a suggestion for, like, oh, here's this really cool dive bar, like, sometimes we'll go. But I think a lot of times we're always tired too, so
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
let's just
Well,
go
yeah,
back to
because
the
you guys,
Airbnb.
yeah, if this tells you how often I don't go to live shows, I thought you guys were up first on the, because you guys were headlining at the aquarium.
Oh, yep.
I thought you guys were up first, and then that's when I started talking to Channing. I was like, oh, that's right, they're backwards. No, you're fine. It was totally fine.
Okay.
I had nothing going on, so I was totally good, and I wanted to make up for ditching you.
Oh my gosh. Please don't feel bad about that.
So, I totally forgot where I was going with that.
So you didn't recognize the order of the artists?
Oh,
meaning
right.
it's backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought, that's where I was going, is because I had the same conversation with Chris about how it's nicer to do like say a 7 to 9 o'clock set as opposed to, because you guys didn't start until
like midnight.
yeah, and then you guys went on to, like, was it 1 or 2?
It was like 1:30 or something like that.
Yeah, and that's
1:15,
super
1:30.
late.
Oh my god, I know. And when I had found out too that we were last, I was like, it's like I feel so honored every time I get to play. Like, I'm never like, but I was like, midnight, you know, like,
Well,
it's so late.
It gets to that hour, and you're just like, oh, I'm so exhausted. I can see that.
But
Like,
it was such a fun lineup that night that it was a show I would have wanted to be there to see the other bands anyway. So it worked out so well. It was such a fun night.
oh, that was a blast. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good night. I'm so glad I went.
Same, yeah.
100%. What's the latest you've ever done an event? Does it always end at like 1, 2 o'clock range?
Yeah, all the bars here like close at 2, so it's nothing later than that. I used to, when I played in the old cover band, we used to play like an hour outside of town, and then so it would take us like an hour to set up. We'd play a 4-hour show. It would take us like an hour and a half to tear down, and then we'd have
didn't
an
even
hour
think of
drive
that.
home.
Oh,
And
my
so
goodness.
those were some nights where it's like you're rolling in at 5 a.m. and that was kind of tough.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
You said Wisconsin. I was thinking, have you ever been to Madison?
No, not yet.
If you can get there, that's a cool town.
Okay.
What the hell's the theater there? The Majestic.
Oh, okay.
We went and saw my favorite hip hop group, Hilltop Hoods.
Cool.
Do you know them? Mm-mm. Oh, okay.
No, I just.
It's a cool name, right?
It was a cool name.
yeah.
And I think anytime anybody gets to see their favorite group, it's something special.
For me, it was because they are huge in Australia.
Oh, okay.
I really like foreign hip hop.
Okay.
So they've toured Canada quite a few times, and every once in a blue moon they'll kind of dip down a little bit into the States.
Okay.
But it's very few and far in between. So I think it was, what year was it? It was 2017. It was. They did like the whole northern end of the United
cool.
States. Yeah.
Okay.
And Madison was like the closest place they were at. So we went to, we made a thing out of it. We, we got a hotel and stayed like 3 nights, took PTO, and went down there. It's an awesome show. Just awesome. They do such a good live show. But that Majestic Theater, that would probably be a good venue for you.
Okay.
If you can get into that. So I don't know anything about getting into stuff like that, but
That's okay, yeah.
While we were there, obviously, we were there for like 2-3 days. It was a cool city to walk around. Like we went to the Capitol, and they have like a couple streets that are like, they have those little independent mom and pa shops and like stuff like that. Yeah, with all the little trinkets and stupid things that you can find in there.
Yeah.
Not to attack my masculinity, I love shopping.
Shopping is the best.
I love shopping so
Yeah.
much, man. I could walk around a mall all day.
Really?
And just, and just kind of just window shop and not so much buy. Like, I'm not a huge fan of buying everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as you can clearly see in my living room, I don't buy all that much.
More of a minimalist.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just like going to look at stuff,
Cool.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shame in that.
No, I like to shop. I like to see new things. I especially appreciate small, independent stuff. Like,
Yes.
not big name stuff like all the, frequent brands and everything. Like I like to see. I'm just racking my brain right now trying to think of shops downtown.
There are a ton though, but like Orange Records.
Yes.
They're a cool little place.
This.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is the record place that's like, it's right by the school that I teach at, right by Amped, on Roberts in 2nd. There's like a really cool like vinyl, like, we'll edit it in post. Just you saying.
Vinyl Giant Records and Game Giant. They're the same store. Go check them out. They're awesome.
But there's that one. A bunch of cool like retail stores. Yeah.
Have you been to Silver Linings?
I have.
I went there for the first time last weekend.
What'd you think?
It was super good.
Mm-hmm.
Super good. Ice cream, by the way, people.
Yes.
It's an amazing ice cream shop. And what is that? It's like the sriracha chocolate ice cream, whatever.
Oh my gosh, I've never tried that.
No?
No.
Ooh, somebody's on a mission now.
I know. Canceling all my plans tonight.
Nice.
I have to go try ice cream.
I don't know if it's still there. Like it seems like. Well, I'm just forewarning
Thank you.
just in case, because
keeping my expectations at
it's
bay.
right, exactly, because it definitely, that was the first impression that I got, is like, okay, they cycle, types
Yes.
in and out of here all the time. This looks like a million flavors kind of place.
Yeah. They have a bunch of really cool, unique flavors.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had Fruity Pebbles. They had.
Mm-hmm. There's a Captain Crunch. That one was super good.
I didn't see that one. See, now we're
Okay.
on that page that
There
I
we
was
go.
warning you about. Yeah, I never saw Captain Crunch there. There
Okay.
was sage. I think
Oh.
it was sage. It was green and it was awesome. But my favorite ice cream of all time they had there, which is amazing, was coffee.
Oh, okay.
I love I love coffee, period. So,
Yep.
like your craft brews are my coffee. Like I
Okay.
love coffee so much.
So you like go to a new town and you seek out coffee shops.
I do, especially
Cool.
independent ones. Yeah, I love Bully Brew. You ever been to Bully Brew? Or Youngblood. You ever been to
Yes.
Youngblood? I love Youngblood.
They have great
so
coffee.
much. Yes.
Yeah.
I got for Christmas, my buddy got me a new high-end coffee grinder, and
Oh,
so I gotta go get
cool.
some of their roasted beans.
Nice.
Yeah, totally pumped for that.
Yeah.
Okay, it has already been an hour.
Oh, wow.
Is that shocking?
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
It's surprising how much time passes when you just sit here and just chat a little bit.
Yeah.
I seriously appreciate you
Yeah.
coming out and
Thank
talking.
you so much
and you
for
are
having me.
always well. If you're bored one day and you're like, Phil, you want to talk? Yes. The answer is always yes.
Cool. Pull a Channing and be like, what are you doing tomorrow?
I actually, when Channing was here, I talked to him after, and I actually purchased a couple of mics and cables off of him. So all I need headsets, and then I'm going to try and get 4 people in here.
Cool.
Yes. I would really like to try that out.
That'd be
Just to
awesome.
see if it would work. So
Yeah.
maybe you, me, Channing, and Chris
Whew.
would be that would be a lot.
That would be a lot. It'd be fun though.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because we all kind of have our own like niche thing in the music. Like, we're all different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
and
that'd be
then
fun.
it'd be a cool conversation to hear you and Chris talk about your teaching too, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
you guys do it a little bit differently.
We do, yes.
Yeah.
We do.
So.
But it's cool. It's still really fun to talk to him about teaching and kind of get different ideas from him. Or any educators, like talking to anybody that kind of does the same thing as you, hearing the things that they do really helps inform what you do. And
Did he tell you about his, what did he call it? It's like the college, like the I don't know how to describe it, like the stadium that can hold like, 100 people.
Maybe
and
not.
only like 30 people were there. They were all sitting in the back.
Oh no! Oh, his class. Yeah.
Did he tell you about that?
Yeah. Oh
That
gosh.
was so funny.
I know.
Do you got anything you want to plug?
Yes, look out for our new album. We have a few new singles that are coming out along the way. We're going to be pumping out a bunch of new content to really promote the album. So find us on Facebook, Jessica Vines Music. Find us on Instagram, Jessica Vines Music. Check out our website. We would love to see you at a show and to see you enjoying our music.
What shows you got coming up?
In town, we have one going on the 17th at Side Street, and that is actually a part of the celebration of women and their music. So that's really exciting.
Tell me about that. Hold on. Tell me about that for a second.
Sure. So Celebration of Women and Their Music, it is a organization that has been around for forever, and every year they put on a show, and it just is like to highlight the women in the area and kind of like surrounding areas, and just to give them a full night to just be celebrated and to kind of
Girls' night out. What?
Girls' night out. Yeah. And to just be excited about all the awesome music that's being made. And they give out scholarships to women in high school. And
Really?
yeah, so it's a really,
That's a
really
big
great
deal.
thing. It's awesome. Yeah, I performed for the actual event last year, and that was so fun. And then this year we're doing one of the side nights. So the actual event is on the 18th, and I encourage anybody that's in the area to go. It's a really wonderful thing. And then on the 17th, I'll be playing at Side Street, because they just they party all weekend. They make it a whole weekend affair.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Hell
great.
yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, we'll be at Side Street.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For
Thank you for
coming
having
out.
me. Yeah.
Please come back.
Definitely.
100%.
Anytime. Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys. We will talk to you later. Once again, everyone, thank you as always. I really appreciate you guys listening to these amazing people and these amazing stories. And if you want to know more about Jessica, then make sure you head over to her website, jessicavines.com, for some great content, and check out that schedule to see what she has coming up soon. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at RumorCast, and don't be scared to head over to rumorcast.com. Check out that speak page and tell us your story too. Thank you again. I love you, and take care.